Well, they are finally here. Loads of you have been asking, when's the revived range coming and when is the wormerite kit going to be available? The time has come. So let me talk you through the latest launch from One More Cast. Firstly, this has been very inquired about. This is the revived baitorbs, formerly known as the bait cages from Enterprise Tackle, and we have now taken them on into our range. I love this product purely because I've become fanatical about using very soluble baits like paste, and this allows you to get very creative with your hook baits. You can use your own stick mix in them, you can use paste in them, you can use bits of worms in them, whatever you like. Let your imagination go wild. You're only limited by that. A brilliant product, very easy to use because quite simply you can thread it onto the hair like a boilie, or you can put them on your spinner rigs like you would a normal boilie, but the difference is you've got a mega soluble, super exciting, attractive hook bait inside because you've come up with it, a proper concoction you can put in there, and they will get you quicker bites. The fact that you've got a soluble hook bait in there, it's in the orbit, it's immersed in the water, and fish will pick that out. And of course you can add toppers to them, you can add the corn caves, which I'll come to shortly, on top of them. You can really go wild with these. And of course they have the resilience so that if you are using paste, they will stay in the fishing situation for as long as you want them. The more you pack out those baitorbs, the longer the bait can stay inside. They really are versatile, but the great thing is you can put pretty much anything in them crumbed up as your hook bait. Next, this will be very popular with the river anglers, pellet caves. Now, if like me, you do still appreciate just how attractive pellets are, but fishing them on the hair can sometimes be very problematic. The great thing with these, the pellet caves, means that you can actually put in a pellet inside the cave, pre-drilled, and then you can put it on the hair knowing that it's protected on almost all sides but one side. So it means water can't penetrate and break it down, and it will stay on the hair, meaning you can fish a pellet on the hair for longer. So river anglers, you'll absolutely love these. Carp anglers, if you're going stalking or you want to fish a very subtle presentation over the top of a spod mix, you can do. And of course, solid bag anglers, a little pellet over pellet, that makes it all possible with this. So there's 3 sizes of pellets in there, of caves. There's 6, 8 and 10 mil. I'm reading the back just to remind myself. So the pellet caves, another part of the revive range. Now, when I was talking about toppers, the corn caves, they do what they say on the tin, exactly like the pellet cave. It's a corn shaped imitation bait, but with the cave inside. So again, I've been using these a lot in conjunction with the bait orb. So I've got the paste in the bait orb, and then I'm shoving paste inside the corn. I'm not a massive fan of just a solid plastic hook bait. That's why I love to combine plastic with real bait or imitation bait. These are all biodegradable plastics as well, so they will break down over time. And this, the sweet corn version, has been absolutely brilliant for me. You can fish them as a single, a double. Of course, you can use them to tip baits. And again, all you're doing is you can be super creative by adding any bait to the front into that cave. You can even put real corn inside, knowing it's going to last longer on the hair if you're fishing for a longer duration. For day anglers, again, you can, very versatile. You can do what you want with them. But for longer sessions, that's giving you resilience to the bait on your hair. So you're able to use very soluble baits, but you've got the protection of the cave around the orbit of it, and it allows a little bit to leak out, and it just creates more attraction into the orbit of the hook bait, which I think is the fundamental, most important part when you're trying to get quicker bites in any situation. Now, the last one of the revive range will lead us on to the wormerite kit. And these, again, have been a very good but forgotten product. These are imitation worms. So the worm rig that's become very famous that I've been showing you, one of the problems that you might encounter is if you're going somewhere where there's a lot of nuisance species, they will peck away at that big bunch of worms. But these slow sinking imitation worms can be used at the top and bottom of the hair where you use the wormerite kit to give you insurance, because that means even if you get a little bit lazy, you've had a few plucks, a few bleeps, and you're worried if you've still got bait on the hair, these super attractive, very smelly imitation worms will ensure you've always got something left on the hair. So if you are having a chill and you thought, do you know what, I'm not going to recast, so I'm going to leave that, these will ensure when you're using that worm rig, you've always got a couple of the imitation worms sitting there proudly in case your real worms have been nabbed away. So that is the imitation worms coming as a part of the Revive range. Definitely add them to your collection. They will come in very handy when you use worms. Now, the piece de resistance, the one you've all been waiting for, the wormerite sprig stop kit. So it comes with a sprue of the sprig stops, there's 12 of them in there, and one double-ended needle, okay? And that means this particular product can be used for both worms, luncher meat, and of course, softer boilies. So the idea with it, and why this is being particularly called the wormerite, is that we've worked really hard. Mike Hutchison, our product development manager, has done a great job in working on the hardness, the diameters and everything to allow these to pierce worms without actually exploding them or damaging them, so that you can fish them well on the hair. That means you use one end of the needle, you can go into the stop from the rear, so you can push through, and then the other end of the needle and the other end of the stop means you can put meat onto the needle and then use the splicing gate latch to pull bait onto the sprig stop. So it's a very versatile product. It's an evolution of plastic bait stops of this type that have been on the market for some time, but we've just taken it forward, hence the name of the range, Tweakers, and that's what it's all about. And to support the Tweakers range, you've got the wormerite sprig stops available on their own as well. In this, you get 24 of them. So once you've gone through the ones in the kit, you've got some backup there in the sprig stops on their own. So there you go. That is the latest range. Some exciting products there that we believe will put more fish on the bank for you by getting you quicker bites and giving you more insurance and security when you use very soluble hook baits.